Hey everyone, want to unlock that quieter kind of confidence and find your own voice?
Yeah.
We're diving deep into this awesome conversation with Nimi Mehta.
You know, CEO, YouTuber, just all around inspiring.
Totally. She chats with Erica from the Balance Theory podcast about, well, this isn't your typical be aggressive kind of confidence.
Nope, not at all.
It's about those real life twists and turns and how to be authentic, even when it feels like you should just fit in.
And Nimi's story really shows that, you know. Imagine landing your dream job at 21.
21.
An MTV presenter.
Right.
Only to have it end after a year.
Oh, that would be rough.
Yeah.
Devastating even.
Talk about a reality check.
Right. But here's what's so cool. She doesn't let that setback define her. Nimi takes those next few years to hustle, trying different things in media, really learning.
Building that foundation.
Exactly. And that leads to something Nimi says that just clicked with me. Dreams aren't these finish lines, you know?
It's like more like markers on a journey.
Ooh, I like
Yes.
that.
Like realizing that map you're using, it's constantly being redrawn as you go.
Oh, wow.
You're going to be open to new paths and detours, you know?
Yeah, so it's less about racing to the end and more about enjoying the, what does they say, the journey.
Scenery along the way.
Right. Which I can be bad about that, getting caught up in what's next and not where I am now.
Oh, totally. And both Nimi and Erica talk about that too, like struggling with that, especially when progress is slow.
It's easy to look at someone like Nimi who's achieved so much and think it was all easy for her.
Right, but she was right there with those same doubts we have.
That makes it feel possible for the rest of us.
And there's this idea she has proximity and persistence. I think it's brilliant, especially if you're trying to break into a tough field.
Ooh, okay, what's that?
So proximity for her meant always being close to the action.
Even if it's not the dream job yet.
Right, like she was scheduling ads at Nickelodeon, not exactly glamorous.
True, but
But it kept her in the industry, learning how things work.
it's like that saying, dress for the job you want.
Exactly. But work any job in that field, even if it's not your dream yet. And then there's the persistence part.
Okay, so you're close by, now what?
She tells this amazing story. She landed an internship at a local TV station by following up with this producer for 6 months.
6 months.
Persistence.
Wow, most people would have given up.
Right. But that's Nimi. She knew sometimes it's not about being the most talented, but the most determined.
That is inspiring. We have more control than we think, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of, Nimi credits visualization with helping her land her dream job at Channel 4 Dubai.
Okay, this part blew my mind. She was feeling super discouraged, basically unemployed, back in her UK apartment.
Rough.
But she held on to this vision, this image of herself at Channel 4 Dubai, even picturing herself on set.
Wait, she really visualized it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And guess what? Years later, she's hosting the breakfast show for them.
Whoa. Like she willed it into being.
It makes you wonder about the power of our thoughts, right? Like if you can see it that clearly, maybe you can make it happen.
It's definitely powerful. And it ties back to what we were saying about dreams being fluid. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Nimi could have let losing the MTV job derail her. But she focused on a new vision, persisted, maybe even manifested a little,
Yeah.
and boom.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got being open to those new paths, being persistent, seeing your goals.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Life throws curveballs.
Always.
Nimi talks about this big career decision.
Yeah.
Stay comfortable but unfulfilled or leap into the unknown. Have you ever felt that?
Oh, absolutely. It's something a lot of us relate to in our careers, relationships, everything.
And the way she framed it is fascinating. She said it was choosing between two fears: financial instability if she left or being stuck if she stayed.
Oof.
So she asks, which discomfort do you want to choose?
Wow, that hits hard because, let's face it, both options have their challenges.
Totally. So which discomfort is the right one, you know? How do we even know?
That's where it gets interesting, where that inner voice, even your body, comes in.
So we're supposed to listen to that inner voice, but what about when your body's sending out SOS signals and we just miss them?
Oh, totally.
Nimi and Erica talk about that, don't they?
Yeah. They both had those stories, you know, where their bodies were like, red alert, something's wrong. Like big time stress, feeling out of alignment,
Oh, yeah.
even if someone they were with was a good fit or not. But they didn't get it at first.
Been there. It's so easy to get stuck in your head that you forget, like your body's trying to tell you something too.
Yeah.
What was one of the examples?
Well, Erica talks about having this awful neck pain, right? And she just thought, oh, it's just from the computer. But then she realized it was her body reacting to stress, to not being true to what she actually wanted.
Deeper than just, oh, I need a massage.
Right. Not just physical, it's connected. Which, speaking of connections, I think this goes right into Nimi's voice layer theory. Have you heard of this?
It rings a bell, but remind me.
Okay, so picture this. Your authentic voice, the real you, is at your core. But then it's like over time, other voices pile on top.
Oh, like layers.
Layers. Could be stuff from childhood, parents, teachers.
Right.
What society expects, what you see in the media. Even the people you're closest to, their voices get in there.
It's like we put on different masks depending on who we're with and what they expect us to be.
Yes. And even if it's not meant to be mean, it muffles our true voice.
It does.
And then those outside voices get so loud, it's harder to hear your own.
You start to doubt yourself.
Exactly. Second guess your gut. Wonder if the real you is even good enough.
So how do you peel those layers back? Is it like go live in a cave, meditate for a year?
Well, maybe not a year in a cave. But Nimi has some more practical stuff. First, she's big on disconnecting from social media regularly.
Oh, just getting that space.
It's amazing how much that clears your head to actually hear yourself.
Oh, for sure. It's like a constant stream of everyone else's thoughts.
Exactly. She also talks about really looking at the 5 closest people in your life, their impact, Not saying ditch your friends, but
pay attention.
Do they lift you up? Drag you down? Encourage the real you or try to put you in a box?
That's a good point. Sometimes even people who love us can accidentally hold us back.
100%. And this next one might sound a little cheesy,
Okay.
but Nimi loves it. Make a My Wins album.
Like a scrapbook of accomplishment.
Exactly. Could be real, could just be on your computer.
Yeah.
But you have this tangible reminder of everything you've done, big or small.
Oh, that's smart. Because it's so easy to get in that negative headspace, right? I haven't done enough, but seeing it,
Gross.
it's like, no, actually, I crushed it on that one. That could be huge for confidence.
Right. Celebrating ourselves, which, let's be honest, we aren't always great at, especially women.
That's true.
Nimi and Erica talk about this pressure to be nice, even if it means squashing your own needs, your boundaries.
Oh, yes. How many times have I just gone along with stuff I didn't even want to do?
To avoid being that girl.
To not make waves.
Right. So how do we balance that? Being true to ourselves, but not,
Being a jerk about it.
It's tough, right? Like, how do you not become that person?
For sure.
Well, Nimi has this great way of looking at assertiveness. She says it's not about being, demanding or aggressive. It's more about responding, not reacting.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's about that pause, before you speak, so you can really think it through and what you want to say.
Yes. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the moment, and then boom, you react without thinking, especially if you feel attacked or offensive or...
And then you're like, did I just say that out loud?
Exactly. But even a tiny pause can change everything.
It's like that whole count to 10 advice, but instead of counting, you're like, okay, what do I actually want to say here?
Yes. And how can you say it so it's true to you, but also you're not, being disrespectful to the other person?
Right, there's a balance.
Totally. And Nimi even gives these little phrases you can use when you need an extra second to think.
Ooh. Like what?
Stuff like, let me think about that for a sec, or can I get back to you on that? Simple, but...
So much better than just saying yes when you mean no.
Exactly. Or just blurting and then regretting it later.
The worst.
It's about you owning that moment, remembering you've got a choice. And honestly, this whole conversation, it's really made me think differently about confidence, especially how we express it.
Yeah, how so?
Well, you know how we often think confident people are the loud ones?
The ones who never stop talking.
Yeah. But Nimi's found that real confidence can be quiet too.
Oh, totally. Like sometimes the quietest person has the most impact because they're not trying to overpower everyone.
Right. They just own what they're saying, even if it's not super loud.
Makes you listen harder.
And she said something so interesting that sometimes the loudest person, they're the ones who need the most validation.
Oh, wow. So
Like they're trying to convince everyone, maybe even themselves.
it's almost sad in a way.
It is. But true confidence, it doesn't need that constant approval from outside. It comes from knowing your worth, owning your voice, and being real, even if it's not what people expect.
I love that. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive on confidence, any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
I think it goes back to that voice layer theory. As you're going through your day, your week, whose voices are you letting write your story? Are they lifting you, holding you back? And what will it take for you to peel those layers away and let your own voice shine?
That's awesome. Great advice to end on. Thanks for diving into this with me. It's been really eye-opening.
Absolutely, my pleasure. This was fun.